Okay, I am live. Um, Not going to do the 5 minutes of fame as I give YouTube some time to build up the audience and the algorithm. So I'm not going to do the 5 minutes of fame now. But if you are new to my channel, I am known as the Queen of Credit because I help people transform their credit from bad to good and from good to great, right? From bad to good, from good to great, and help them revision their credit, right? Or leverage or use their credit to invest versus getting in debt, right? To invest versus getting in debt. So I'm just looking at some things. So as you come in, say hello real quick. If I highlight your name, that means I see you and I'm speaking to you, right? So come in, say hello. I'm going to make this a short video. I was trying to find some music to play in the background, but I can't think of any music that I want to hear right now. I'm a little late, and the Saints are blowing out Tampa Bay. At first, initially, I wasn't going to go live, but then I decided, well, I'm not going to stay long, so let me go ahead and go live because I promised that I will cover this topic. So the topic of discussion, right, is good evening. Which business credit cards help you to build your business credit, right? What business credit card help you to build your business credit? Because not all, give me 1 second. Yeah. I think I will put some music in the background. Not all credit is created equal, right? Not all credit is created equal. Not all business credit cards are created equal. And so you need to know the strategy and concept behind it, right? You want the business credit cards that will report to Experian and Dun & Bradstreet, right? And preferably the business credit cards that, let me put this, that do not report to your personal credit report as well, right? So those are the two things when starting to get business credit. You don't want credit cards that will report to your personal credit report, right? So your debt to income ratio is not extremely high. You know, with business credit cards, you're going to get the larger lines of credit. Also, you want the business credit card that will report to Dun & Bradstreet as well as Experian credit, right? So I'm going to drop that information on you real quick. Let me cut this out. Also, you want to know what's the best credit repair steps you need to take in order to even qualify for business credit, right? In order to qualify for business credit. So these are the steps you need to take for credit repair. Number one, you need a 720 credit score or higher, right? 720 personal FICO credit score or higher, not your Vantage credit score. Your Vantage credit score can be found on Credit Karma or Mint, right? Any of those. So your true FICO credit score, you want a 720 or higher. No bankruptcies, repossessions, reporting, at all. Zero, right? And no late payment within the last 2 years, collections or charge-offs within 2 years. And you want to keep your inquiries or inquiries, right? Tomato, at 5 or less for each credit agency, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, right? You also want to have personal credit cards, preferably with credit limits at least $10,000 or more. Because with business credit cards in particular, or lines of credit, they will mirror right, mirror or match the highest personal credit limit credit card on your credit report. Now, if you have 5,000, 5,000 will work as well. However, you want to try to get business credit cards that's $10,000 or higher, right? So this is where a lot of people that have family that's associated with the credit union usually try to get approval or try to become a member of a credit union. Navy Federal is considered as the king of credit unions, meaning that Navy Federal, if you have a 720 credit score and you have your account set up on direct deposit, right, will normally give you large credit limits of credit cards, personal credit cards of at least 25,000, right? PenFed would be my second selection. Then you have other credit unions like USSA and some more credit unions, United Credit Unions, right? Those would be my top four. Also, your local credit unions as well, right? If you can't get in those four, if you don't have a family member that's a part of Navy Federal, in which you can join, also look at your local credit union, right? So credit unions are a good tool as well. Now, this is where authorized users come into account as well. If you know someone that will add you as an authorized user that has a high credit limit, that may help you as well get approved for a higher credit limit. Now, it will not position you, however, to get your personal credit qualified. However, it can position you because FICO 10 is expected to take place or to be in its second phase next month in December. So FICO 10 credit monitoring or credit reporting looks at your 2-year history, right? So AAU authorized users are piggybacking trade lines, also known as piggybacking, right? Which means you are riding or using someone else's credit, right? There are many good credit union state employees, PenFed, NASA. Okay, there is. I do know Navy Federal is the king, right? They usually will give you higher credit limits, personal credit cards, than any other credit union, right? So that's the number one. If you have a family member that's military and you can use their membership so you can become a member, right? The same thing works with AU trade lines. You have a family member, right, that has good credit. You don't have to have access to their credit cards, right? But you can access with high credit limits, right? $10,000, 15,000, 20,000 personal credit cards. You can ask to be added to their personal credit cards. So, or in order for you to get the higher credit limits, but your personal credit must be able to stand alone. This is just a strategy to get the higher credit limit business credit cards, right? Because you may have low personal credit card credit limits. Now back to FICO 10, second phase will take effect in December. So AU trade lines for the strategy of boosting your credit, your personal credit score for maybe about 75 points when FICO 10 takes effect will not be effective anymore because it will no longer look at your 30 or 60-day snapshot. So a lot of people were using AU trade lines just to boost their personal credit score. That will not be effective when FICO 10 comes into play. However, you still can use the strategy to get approved for higher limit business credit cards once your personal credit is in place, right? Question, so credit and asset you can share with your children. That was the main reason why AU trade lines were created. They were created in order for parents to add their children as authorized users as a method and form of building their children's credit so that when the child turned 18, they will already have a credit profile and position themselves to have over a 700 credit score. However, businesses saw this as a business opportunity and began to sell this to the general public, right? And began to sell this to the general public. Question: can I get a credit with a $200 bonus and no annual fee? I'm assuming you're asking, should you get a credit card with a $200 bonus and no annual fee? I'm not sure what you're saying with the $200 bonus. I'm assuming that you're asking me. Just rephrase your question because I don't want to make assumptions. But you may be asking me, should you get a $200 secured credit card with no annual fee? And if that's what you're asking me, my answer to that would be no, right? My answer to that would be no. Good evening. No. Pretty Nails, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So these are the list of credit cards, right? Business credit cards that can help you build business credit. Remember, not all credit cards are created equal. So earlier, Martin, who's on this live stream now, asked me about our American Express, right? Does American Express report to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian Credit? Now, I want you all to also be familiar with the Small Business Financial Exchange, SBFE, right? It also serves as a business reporting or business credit information for its members. So this is why using or getting vendor credit by using an EIN, right, is not effective to get business credit cards. You can get vendor credit, but not business credit cards because there is no reporting also to the FBFE, the Small Business Financial Exchange, right? So the Small Business Financial Exchange provide financing to small businesses, right? So it also has certified vendors as well, which are credit reporting agencies that are permitted to include credit information. So SBFE reporting is good as well, Dun & Bradstreet, and of course, Experian. So these are the business credit cards that report to all of them. I do both. Was born last night. I do both to answer your question. So American Express reports to Dun & Bradstreet and SBFE. American Express does not report to Experian, right? Credit. But it does report to SBFE, Small Business Financial Exchange. Bank of America business credit cards report only to SBFE, right? Capital One, even though I do not recommend Capital One because it will report on your personal credit report, unless you have the cash flow or capital to pay the balance in full every month on a Capital One card, right? But it does report to all three, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and SBFE, right? Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and SBFE. Now you have Chase Business Inc., my number one, right? Business card out of all of them because Chase actually reports to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, and SBFE, right? And so I also know the underwriting guidelines to help you get approved by submitting your application to Chase and SBFE as well, because a lot of people don't get approved because with credit cards and business credit cards, right, especially if you have a new developed business, you will have to include your stated income or your projected income from the business. And sometimes people put a projected income that automatically will get them in denied, especially if it's a newly formed business. And they overstate the stated income. And if you overstate the stated income, then you can very well be asked for your financial records or proof of cash flowing, right, to the business to prove that. If you do not have those on file, then you will get denied. My second recommended business card that people need to have in their portfolio, right, is City Card. It reports to all four as well: Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, and SBFE. Now, the third one, right, but this also will report on your personal credit report. However, it does report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian is Discover, your Discover business card, right? And then two more, you have PNC, Business Credit, which does report to Experian Business Credit only, right? But not Dun & Bradstreet's, right? But it does report to Experian Credit. Now, just note that American Express, let me go back to American Express, although it reports to Dun & Bradstreet and SBFE, it will only report your delinquent or negatives, right, with Dun & Bradstreet. So be very careful with Amex, with American Express business credit cards. And then you have Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo reports to SBFE only, right? So keep your balances low, pay your credit cards on time, and check your credit often. So I hope this helped you all. Again, I told you this was going to be a quick live stream, right? I'm under 20 minutes as of right now. Hello, which bank is recommended if I start a credit repair business? First of all, whatever bank is in your local proximity, right? Because there are some banks that require you to come in the branch to establish business credit, right? But always and so, you like in Mississippi, we don't have a Chase Bank location or Bank of America, for example, right? But there is a Bank of America, a Chase in Memphis, Tennessee. So if someone wanted to drive to Memphis to open up that checking account at the local bank, then I always recommend those top two for business credit, just because of their bank rating report and reporting. So those will be the top two choices that I would recommend for business credit. I also have a business credit banking account with Wells Fargo, but I think Bank of America and Chase will be my top two, and Wells Fargo will be my third choice of selection. Queen, what is Upturn Remove, and does it work for already disputed accounts? I have no idea what Upturn Remove is. I don't know. Upturn, I guess. Are you able to get an SBA loan with bad personal credit? No, Curtis. When should you apply for business credit card if you have a new small business? Definitely when you have high limits personal credit cards, when your personal credit meet the prerequisites of what I mentioned earlier, what your personal credit needs to look like to get approved for business lines of credit or business credit cards. And so you can, if you meet the criteria within the first 30 days of opening your business, have apply for business credit if you're using your personal credit to leverage. Also, to the person that asked the question about credit repair business, make sure you are familiar with CROA laws. Those are the laws you will have to abide by. The Credit Report Organizations Act, right? It prohibits any untrue or misleading representing people and requires certain disclosures for offering credit repair services. So you need to do your research and due diligence, right? And be in compliance with them. Be in compliance with them. So I do credit consultation. So mine is different than credit repair. No, do I give you my no? Never give anyone your credit card information. Never do that. Visit my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. And I'm going to have it strolling on the bottom. Go to credit help. I can show you real quick. Walk you through if you want consulting and a credit analyst to get your credit restored. Select the tab Credit Help and Custom Credit Analysis. You start here, the small investment of $125. This is where you will go if you need credit help. Follow the next step to receive your credit analysis and or consultation. Everyone has a different credit profile, so I give custom analysis. There's a $125 small investment. Submit your payment here. Also include your name and email address in the notes. This is where you would pull your full tri-merge credit report. Select this link. This is the only one that I use. All right, so you might tell me, well, I already have credit monitoring. This is the only one that I will use. It's compatible with the software that I use to perform the credit audit or analysis with. You email back this information, email address. Do not text, email only. And it includes my email address, which is ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. Please allow up to 5 business days to receive your results via email, right? So that's where you will get started. Ashley says, I live in Michigan, Chase, Bank of America, Citizen Bank, PNC. Yes, PNC, one of the other business credit cards that I mentioned earlier. And all of those are good business checking accounts, right, for anyone to have. The Zeus, hello. I'm glad you joined on. I went live earlier and I did not see you in the live stream. So glad to see you pop on. Then I'm going to answer this live question. And yes, I do help with business credit as well. Right, I do help with business credit as well. Also, if you want a business credit consultation, visit this website. You find a link. Okay, I'm putting that link. www.bit.ly/the biz credit. That's in all caps. All right, the biz credit. So that's my 25 minutes of fame on business credit and how to position yourself, how to position your personal credit to qualify. Again, Having an EIN, employee identification number, only helps you get qualified for vendor credit, not business credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PNC, Bank of America, any business, it will not, right? You have to leverage your personal credit for that. I paid a company to help me get business credit card, but they only got me one small business credit card and left me with 9 inquiries and 6 denials. My score was a 767 with clean credit. What should I do? Right now, you need to get those inquiries removed and inquire, ask why you only got qualified for a small business credit card. However, if that small business credit card was, and I hope you go back and watch the replay if you watch the beginning of this video, if you missed the beginning, so you can know what credit cards. You need to have the credit cards that report to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and or SBFE. And I named the 2 credit cards. That there are 2 credit cards, Chase and Citi, that reports to 4, right? Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, and SBFE. So if you want more business credit, because I tell people it does not matter how high your score is, right? You need to be at least at a 740, but what matters in business credit qualification is your complete personal credit profile, right? What are your highest limit personal credit cards? What's your history on those? What's your debt to income ratio, right? How strong do you look on paper? Does your business have, does it have an entity? And do you have a business bank account? Those are our factors in approval for business credit cards as well. Jesus says, I have not been doing well lately. That's why. Wow. Jesus, I hope you feel better soon. My prayers and thoughts are with you. 20 pounds in 7 days is a lot. So I'm glad that you are feeling better, and I'm glad to hear from you. My voice is a little weak. Patrick asks, politics, do you think that Joe Biden as president have to do it will be more a better business opportunity for America has tax plans? I've briefly looked at Joe Biden's tax revisions. However, that's why I always have tax shelters in place. There was one woman, for example, that posted on Facebook that she had 9 part-time jobs, right? And only earned $15,500 of income from 9 part-time jobs. So that's why I always inform people to know the loopholes of the rich and how the rich legally make more money and pay less tax. He will not be able to change the business tax laws of America, right? He may change some taxes on gifts, personal gifts, and things of that nature, but the business tax laws are here to stay, right? And that's why I always inform people to get the home-based business that I'm affiliated and associated with, so you can have access to over 475 tax deductions, right? To help you with whatever tax laws are in place. And to help you bring more money out of your paycheck, right? By having to get less federal tax deductions out of your paycheck, right? A lot of people, my last client that was on my live stream gave the testimony of how his income from his paycheck without getting a promotion or overtime, right, into his home increased $1,400 more a month by applying these strategies through the home-based business. And so if you want to be familiar with those strategies, I tell people to prepare now, right, for the upcoming tax changes. Then visit, let me find this link. Let me find the home-based business. I can't find that link. Hold on. Okay. This is the link. To help with that tax offset, right? To learn more about the home-based business, certified consultants from the IRS that will help you implement this strategy, right? I once heard, was it Fat Joe? I think Fat Joe in one of his lyrics said he would rather have 20 people chasing him with guns than the IRS on his back. So you want certified people, IRS trained consultants to do this strategy for you, to analyze your paycheck, to see where you are overpaying in taxes, right? And so you can implement those tax deductions effectively, right? Where you don't have to pay back, or you're not, having too much taken out and you end up owing at the end of the year. You want to break even, right? And you want to bring more of that money home, because what people don't understand, what many people don't understand, is that when you get taxes taken out of your paycheck, it goes to the Federal Reserve, right? And you get that money back. That's why it's called a refund. That means to get back again at the end of the year with 0% interest. So instead of you giving that money to the Federal Reserve to invest and make more money off of your money, out your paycheck, off of your labor, right? You keep that money so that you won't be living paycheck to paycheck, right? So that you can afford your expenses, right? And you can live throughout the year in positive cash flow, right? Joseph said, I sent you an email regarding to your credit repair services. Okay, I will check emails first thing tomorrow morning. Now, Lisa is, I missed the beginning of the video, but those cards you mentioned, I got denied. And company, oh yeah, their projected income is too high. That will be an automatic red flag. I don't know why that company would do that. And for denial, because then you will get letters from all of those denials asking for a verification of that income. And if you're a new starting business, there's no way you have verification that you will bring in that type of cash flow, or your projected income will be $267,000. And so, yeah, that company didn't do you justice. That projected income is way too high. And that's what I tell people. A lot of people try to go online themselves and apply for their own business credit cards, and they get denied. And they have their banking account in place, they have their entity in place, right? But that's usually and their personal credit sometimes may meet the profile or qualification, and they will get a denial because they will put too high of income or too low of income for the projected income for the business, right? If it's too high or too low, you will get denied. Hi, Queen. Do you still? Yes, I do. Anything under 5 inquiry, need. I won't, look at a credit profile. If you only have 2 or 3 inquiries, you need to delete it. It's just really not worth my time, because inquiry removal is a very high advanced credit, right, repair strategy. So I won't do 3 or less or 5 or less, right? Nelly says, I'm a new business. I asked them why they sent in the projected income, because I believe that's why I denied. And the company said because of the pandemic and the banks not lending. Of course, the banks are tight, as I tell people, on lending. However, whenever you put that high projected income, they will definitely automatically deny you, and definitely you probably receive a paperwork in the mail from those denials that stating that you can get approved if you show proof that you can produce that projected income. And if you're a new business, you definitely can't do that, right? So, hey, I'm signing off. Hope this helped you a lot. Here's to your health and wealth, your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow. Queen of Credit out. You all have a great night.